And we are live in round 5. This is a win and in for both James Wilks and Simon Linabury. And cutting decks, Black White Control versus Bat Humans. I love watching this matchup.
Yeah, why is that, B?
It's so interactive, and the Bat Humans there's just so many ways for it to come back, particularly after a collected company, and suddenly just swings right back into their favor. I love the Bant deck. I love Coco decks. I'm looking forward to this one.
Do you think the Bant Humans list has a better or worse matchup than the regular Bant list?
It's definitely more aggressive. I prefer the traditional list just because I think it's more resilient.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just got a report from the floor. Jim is playing first. Black White Controller playing first. Yeah.
Well, I assume that's where they want to be, so they don't get overrun by the humans too fast.
Yeah. Just looking at the deck list quickly, Simon's list looks like the same one that BBD took to the World Championship. Yep, so you've got the Reflector Mages for the tempo plays and the Tamios in the main board.
So, opening hands, will they keep? That is the question.
Are we down to 6?
Looks like neither of them have mulliganed.
Okay, it's both at 7.
Leads off with the Shambling Vance, probably the best turn 1 play
Yeah.
for a Black White Control deck.
Yep.
And nothing on turn 2, so no transgress. And we're off to the races with Thalia's Lieutenant.
So you'd want to get full value from Thalia's, you really want to kind of sandbag the Thalia's Lieutenant.
Oof, that is brutal.
Yeah.
Straight into a Liliana that eats the Thalia's Lieutenant that's only a measly 1/1.
Yeah. So we've got an update on Jim's hand. We've got Swamp, Blighted Fen, Grasp of Darkness, Lily, which he's played, Anguish Unmaking, Read the Bones. So quite a
and he's drawn into
hand.
Obnixilis.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. It's all cards the Black White Control deck is pretty happy to see, particularly Liliana. She's very good at staving off those pesky humans. And looks like it is going to continue to do so for quite some time. Though it looks like Simon managed to squeak an extra planes out of that Knight of the White Orchid.
Yeah.
Get that extra card value back.
Yeah.
Off of now that he's down 1 from the Thalia's Lieutenant.
Update from Simon's hand. We've got 2 trackers, a planes, and a company.
Ooh, company's always somewhere you're happy to be, particularly when your opponent is playing a control deck.
Definitely.
Always lets you get in those extra sneaky damage.
Yeah. So not much pressure from Simon at this stage. I mean, where you really want to see the Bant Humans deck is by turn 4 you're playing like 2 creatures a turn and just overwhelming the board.
Yeah, for sure. And at this point, he's doing literally 0 damage. So is he going to pass the turn, hold out that company, or are we going to go for something? Ooh, we've got to play. Going for the Tireless Tracker, trying to get that extra value out while they can. So
and he didn't attack with the Knight.
Because it was currently a 0/1.
Yeah, that's right. It's a small cub right now.
Yeah, not a useful Knight.
No. So Jim's hand at the moment, he's drawn Sorin.
Oh, and here's the Obnixilis, coming to ruin the Tireless Tracker's day.
Oh. So it looks like quite a Walker heavy.
Yep. But with Jim 2 ticks away from an ultimate of Liliana.
Yeah.
This is looking pretty scary for Simon.
Can he deal with that Lily this turn?
So it looks like Jim has also got a Soren to complete his Planeswalker collection.
It's the evil Super Friends deck.
Yes, the darkest timeline.
Yeah. The Suicide Squad equivalent.
Yeah. Liliana, Obnixilis, and Soren, all ready to ruin your day.
I guess Lily kind of, is kind of a good guy.
You know, her own self-centered sort of way. Doesn't look like he has the land in order to...
The old Coco at the end of turn.
Here we go.
Right,
I suppose this
see what
is
he can
really
draw.
what's going to determine whether Simon's still in this game.
Yeah.
Because if he hits big, then he can keep Lily off that terrible ultimate. If he whiffs entirely, I think he's just done. And it looks like we've got a Reflector Mage, which isn't going to do a whole lot. And I think it's a
No.
Thalia.
Is that a Thalia? Just getting confirmation what that second card is.
So apparently he also had the option of a Thraben Inspector off of the collected company, but chose not to go with that little one too.
Yeah. Choosing not to get that extra card.
Though I think at this point just needs the ability to be able to kill Obnixilis and slow down that Liliana, I think, is the play here. But whether that actually comes to fruition or not is... I think maybe Simon should have maybe played around the potential removal spell. Because otherwise Liliana is going to get big. Though in this case, turns out it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All the removal spells. And it looks like Jim's is going to do more damage to himself than Simon's going to do to him this game.
Yeah. And we might see a Lily ultimate next round.
We've got a Thalia again.
That is a Thalia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. That art looks different. Is that a special art?
No, I think it just looks kind of wonky from this angle.
Oh, okay.
She's kind of leaning over weirdly.
Hmm.
It's an odd art. And I think we're about to see Liliana ultimate, unless Jim really wants to get greedy and somehow keep both Liliana and get the ultimate. I feel like that might be a bit too much, but I guess we'll see.
Update on Simon's hand. He's got a Pacifist, another Tracker, a Dramoka's Command, and he's played the Thalia. So he could Dramoka's if he decides to pump up the Shambling Vent.
Yeah, that could definitely happen. Though in this situation, I think Jim's surely just going to play it safe, right?
Yeah, there's no reason for Jim to overextend here.
Yep, there we go.
There we go. Here comes
No need to
Lily's.
get greedy. Liliana
Yeah.
pops off. He's going to start making zombies. While Jim continues to draw many cards each turn.
He was one of our Paragon profiles, and we know that he does like his control decks.
Sure does, and he seems to be thoroughly enjoying himself today. He's on a 2-1-1 record, which is nothing to sneeze at, and off to a good start this match, despite managing to get himself down to 11 life.
Yeah.
So V, what does that Liliana emblem actually do?
So, at the beginning of your end step, you put X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is 2 plus the number of zombies you control. So
That can get to be a lot of zombies.
It's an exponential rise in the number of zombies.
Yeah, +2.
Yeah. that is the
Like
formula.
infinity +1. It's just an unnecessary number. Though in this case it is necessary, otherwise it wouldn't go anywhere, would it? But here we go. So
pacifist.
So we're back over to Jim. Does Simon have that collected company? Because we know he had a couple of things in hand, but chose not to play them.
Yeah, getting an update now. So we know he's still got Dramoka's command.
And we've got an Oath of Liliana going into eat up that pacifist. Simon choosing not to play a collected company if he does have it. Maybe thinking that languish might come down and ruin his day. Maybe end step is better. It's like black-white tokens. Looks like they're trying to count just how many zombies Jim's is about to get. It's one.
And more. It's a good thing we bought all those zombie tokens today.
It sure is. Now, how did he end up with that many zombies?
He had two, right?
He had two. Oh, does Oath of Liliana do something? I think it does. I think it...
Enter the
beginning of each end step, if a planeswalker, so he gets a zombie and then gets 5 more zombies. So it ends up with 6 more zombies. Yeah, that's just an unnecessary number of zombies.
Look at that little Tyler's tracker.
It's a little bit sad. And yeah, it looks like Simon, despite bluffing the Coco, did not have the Coco to help him back in this. And so it looks like he's obliged to block, or is he just dead?
And we're just being told Jim has drawn Grasp of Darkness as well.
So with Grasp of Darkness, I think that's lethal. Or is he just going to Sorin? For even more fun.
Yeah, why not? If you've got all the friends. I mean, you could play Sorin and Grasp.
Yeah, looks like he is going to do that. When you have the win, you may as well go all in, right? Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, it was quite a tentative Dramoka's command there as well.
Jim there choosing to sacrifice his own enchantment to the... sacrificing his enchantment to the Dramoka's command. And that's game 1 done.
It's quite a comprehensive...
Despite dealing 11 damage to himself, Jim takes the match, takes the game.
Well, it's a very black thing, right? Life is a resource.
It is, and he used it well. So now, if we look to the sideboards, what are these players going to choose to do now that they are into their sideboards?
Let's see, does Jim have any kind of... Did he bring any rats with him in the board?
Well, he's got a Languish. And he's got some Linval's the Preserver. That might actually work out well for him.
Yeah.
If he can make it to turn... Is it 6?
Linvala is 6.
Yeah.
He's also got Kalatas. Big body, lifelink.
Very, very handy. Also gets you zombies.
Yep, more zombies.
Jim is clearly a fan of. Simon, on the other hand, what would he be bringing in? Gideon, I've heard, is quite good against control decks.
Controls. I'll be trying to bring the Negates just to get rid of the Walkers.
Yep.
He is on the play, so that generally means holding up Negate is a bit more favourable.
Being on the play, do you take your Knights of the White Orchid out?
I know a lot of people kind of lean towards that. I like keeping them in. He's only playing 2 anyway.
Yeah, and you know Jim's gonna try his hardest to hit his land drop every single turn.
Yeah.
So if you ever fall slightly behind,
you don't want to be losing in the mana race.
And 2/2 first striker for 2, which turns into a lot bigger first striker for 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is certainly nothing to sneeze at. Guess it depends on what Simon wants to bring in.
So it'd be interesting if he brings in the more attrition-based cards, so Duskwatch Recruiters, the Gideons, and the Nisses, Vastwood Seer.
So we just got word from the floor that Simon is in fact bringing in 9 cards, which is a lot.
Yeah, so he might have gone down the more attrition route. He might have thought, he can't really aggro this deck out. It's just got too many answers. Therefore, try to play the attrition match.
Yep. Definitely sounds about right. That. And Bant certainly has a lot of game when it comes to attrition matchups, doesn't it?
Yeah. This is one of the reasons I like the Bant Humans deck. It can go super aggro, but then if that plan doesn't quite work, it can sideboard quite nicely into a nice mid-range, more traditional Bant build.
Do you feel like Simon's going to suffer for not having things like Spell Queller or Selfless Spirit?
I know BBD's list didn't have those cards in the original list, and it might be because holding up that mana, like you're holding up 4 for Collective Company and then you're holding up 3 for Spell Queller, might be too much of an opportunity cost. You'd rather just be developing your board.
That makes sense. And against the black-white control, Languish certainly ruins Selfless Spirit's parade, doesn't it?
Yeah. So Simon's mulling to 6.
Something BBD did an awful lot of at the World Arena.
Yeah. I'm really happy for BBD. It's such a almost Cinderella story, really.
Yep. It's one of those players I'd never actually recognised by sight.
Yeah.
But as soon as I heard him talk, I was like, I know who BBD is. I've watched enough Channel Fireball videos to know who that is.
Alright, Jim's hand. Swamp, 2 caves of Coilios, 1 Lily, Anguish Unmaking, and 2 Languish.
Ooh, 2 Languish.
Yeah.
And 3 land. You can't be sad about that hand.
No. Be quite comfortable.
In fact, I think that's what they call a snap keep. You got exactly what you want.
Yeah. It's tricky as well. If Simon did go down the attrition route, seeing Languish, 2 Languishes, isn't an ideal position for you to be in.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely gets you down on the card advantage, particularly after you've mulliganed once. It looks like he's chosen to keep his 6 because he's scrying 1.
Looks like a tricky scry.
It's always really hard because you have to predict several turns in advance, don't you? I mean, unless it's the land you really desperately need, but... So we've got a fortified village, choosing not to reveal, which is not entirely surprising because I don't think he has much to do on turn 1.
Yeah, might as well not reveal the info. So Simon, his hand is Evolving Wilds, Perry Stream, Village, Talia's Lieutenant, Tamio, and Talia, Heretic.
And here we go. We've got our Thalia's Lieutenant on turn 1 again.
Yeah.
And we know that Jim has that Liliana, but the advantage of being on the play here is that Simon is going to be able to get his Thalia's Lieutenant to a 2-2, hopefully, before Jim can play that
Play the Lily.
Liliana. And it looks like he's chosen to remove the Tamio from Simon's hand.
Yeah.
And here we go. Does Simon have the untapped land for Thalia? Does not appear like he does. Which is a bit of a worry.
He's got a wild and a Perry Stream, I believe. So looks like Talia is probably not coming down.
No. Which means that Thalia, Lieutenant, is in fact going the way of the dodo. Eaten by Lilianas. I believe that's what happened anyway.
Yeah, I think that's what my biology book said as well. Yeah.
So here we go, Liliana.
There she is.
Not Liliana, Thalia.
One turn too late, but hey.
Too late to save her lieutenant, but
yeah.
Is it not too late to avenge it?
Let's bring her
Is
up.
the question.
Talia, Heretic Cathar. One of the new cards.
And so she's a 3/2 first strike for 3, which is already pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
But additionally, creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped.
Yeah.
And that second bit with the lands is not super relevant in this matchup because pretty much all the non-basic lands of Jim's are going to enter the battlefield tapped anyway.
Regardless. Yeah.
But having tapped creatures can be handy for getting through. But she's definitely not at her best in this matchup.
Yeah.
When compared to something like a Bant mirror, where she's definitely extremely scary.
Yeah. Particularly when the Bant matchups are so reliant on tempo as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And the old Reflector Mage not reflecting anything.
Thalia comes in. Did Thalia go face?
Just get a check on that one.
But Languish, as expected, comes down.
That's one of the two.
Sweeps out off Simon's board. And Simon finds yet another Thalia.
We're going to see another Liliana ultimate again.
It's certainly looking like it's going to be the case. And we've got a dress coming down, seeing that one measly land in Simon's hand, I think, which will possibly seal the deal for Jim here, knowing that all he has to do is continue to tick Liliana up, and he's got this one in the bag. Ooh, what has Simon drawn? It is Thalia number 3. I believe that's all the Thalias in his deck. And again...
that's another Thalia down.
Yep. Liliana has finally ticked up to 7 loyalty, that magical number.
There we go. There's one of the Tyler's trackers.
Ooh, this could be something that could really help Simon get back in the game. If it was last turn. However, it looks like it does mean that Jim can't get too greedy with Liliana and tick up yet again. And it looks like he's going, yep, there it is, straight for the emblem.
Yep. A thumbs up from Jim.
I think
that's the end of Tyler's tracker as well.
Yep. I think Jim knows just how good of a position he's in. Now that his super friends have united.
Once again. We want the sleeved emblem.
Yeah. It's important. As well as the sleeve zombies. And yet another tireless tracker.
What are you looking for here, Jamie? A Coco to get back into the game?
I think you need a Coco into a Coco into a Coco to maybe get back into this game. But at this point, it's gonna be a bit tricky. I think the odds of pulling that off are pretty slim. I think it might. You might just have to play it out and see if Jim makes any mistakes, but as we know from Jim, he's quite a concise player. Doesn't tend to make too many mistakes.
No.
And there goes...
Anguished death for the tireless tracker.
Yep. Oh.
Looks like it's attacked from
Jim
the
gaining
vents.
some more life.
Yeah.
After doing himself yet more damage.
And more zombies.
I think over the course of these 2 games, he's done at least 20 damage.
Yeah, I think he did 11
to himself.
last round. Yeah.
Ooh.
And the Pacifist.
Pacifist is really not going to do it.
Yeah, I thought Pacifist would be one of the cards Simon would just side out, actually.
Why is that?
I see the pacifist role in this deck as kind of like a flex slot. Like you sideboard it out when you want to go, a bit more attrition based.
And there it is.
And there's the
Lethal once
handshake
again.
with zombies.
Does not take long after that emblem comes out
Yeah, it does,
for
doesn't
the zombies to end the game.
There we have it. So Jim looks like he is in the top 8.
Yep.
And from memory, I think the rest ID'd.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So I think we should be able to update with you with our top 8 of the Paragon Diamond Open shortly.
Yep, our first top 8. How exciting. We'll be back with the standings.